Hello dear students, welcome to this English class. Today I shall take a poem, The Wind and the Moon, written by George Macdonald. Students, since this is a very lengthy poem, today I shall take the first half of the poem. So let's get started. The Wind and the Moon, Part A, written by George Macdonald. Here is an image of the poet George Macdonald. A brief introduction of the poet. George Macdonald was a Scottish clergyman who wrote stories and poems. He wrote for adults and children. He is best known for his stories in the genre of fantasy. So George Macdonald was a religious person. Clergyman means religious person, and he wrote stories and poems as well. Most of his writings were for adults as well as for children. And he was famous, he's best known, that is, he's famous for his stories in the genre of fantasy. Means most of his stories contained imaginary content. That means most of his stories were imaginary. Okay, fantasy means imaginary. This particular poem, The Wind and the Moon, is on page 85 of your textbook. So please open your textbook to page 85. Okay, now brief introduction of this poem. The two main characters of this particular poem are the wind and the moon. So now in this particular poem, the wind is overconfident. He thinks is very strong and he has something against the moon and wants to blow it out of the sky. Okay, so he thinks is stronger than the moon and has the power to blow the moon out of the sky. Whereas the moon is indifferent. He is not aware of the wind's presence or what the wind is thinking. Okay. He follows his own pattern of coming in the sky at night and again disappearing. So the moon is least bothered of what the wind is thinking, or even is not even aware of what the wind is thinking. So this poem will display two contrast behavior. That is, one is the rude and arrogant behavior of the wind, whereas the moon is very calm. Okay, so let's begin. Here you can see the wind, angry wind trying to blow the moon. Okay, fine. Please read along with me. Said the wind to the moon, I will blow you out. You stare in the air like a ghost in a chair, always looking what I'm about. I hate to be watched. I'll blow you out. Again repeat. Said the wind to the moon, I will blow you out. You stare in the air like a ghost in a chair, always looking what I am about. I hate to be watched. I'll blow you out. So now here the wind is telling the moon that you are always staring at me like a ghost sitting in a chair and staring, and always trying to see what I am doing, and I hate somebody staring at me. So I'm angry with you and I want to blow you out. Okay, so here the wind is speaking very angrily and threatening the moon that he'll blow her out of the sky. Second stanza. The wind blew hard and out went the moon, so deep on a heap of clouds to sleep. Down lay the wind and slumbered soon, muttering low, I have done for that moon. Okay, slumbered means slept. So now here this time the wind blew hard, and what happened? Coincidentally, the moon disappeared behind a heap of clouds. Okay, now this was a coincidence, and the wind thought that because he blew hard, the moon has disappeared. So now the wind is very happy and goes off to sleep. Slumbered means down lay the wind and slumbered soon. So the wind went off to sleep. Muttering low means talking softly to himself that I have done for that moon. That means I have blown that moon away. So let's read that again. The wind blew hard and out went the moon, so deep on a heap of clouds to sleep. Down lay the wind and slumbered soon, muttering low, I have done for that moon. Okay, next stanza. He turned in his bed, she was there again, on high in the sky. With a one ghost eye, the moon shone white and alive and plain. Said the wind, I will blow you out again. Now what happened when the wind got up, turned in his bed means when he got up, what did he discover? He discovered the moon was back there in the sky, and this time he was shining brightly, shining white and alive, means full of life. So now the wind says, I'll blow you out again. Okay, so the wind is very angry, and so the wind is shocked to see the moon back again in the sky, and this time shining white. Okay, so actually this is, you must be knowing children, the pattern of this moon, how some days it is full moon. So coincidentally this time the moon is a full moon up in the sky. So the wind is annoyed, and so now again he threatens the moon that he will blow the moon out of the sky again. He turned in his bed and she was there again, on high in the sky with the one ghost eye. The moon shone white and alive and plain. Said the wind, I will blow you out again. The wind blew hard and the moon grew dim. With my sledge and my wedge, I have knocked off her edge. If only I blow right, fierce and grim, the creature will soon be dimmer than dim. So this time the wind blew very hard, and again now this time the moon grew dim. That was the next phase of the moon, right? From a full moon, the size becomes smaller and smaller. All of you know that, right? But the wind is thinking that because he blew hard, the moon has grown dimmer. Okay, because he blew hard with the sledge and a wedge. Sledge means a triangular tool which is made of metal, which is used to break off something. Okay, so the wind thinks that he has been successful in blowing the moon. I have knocked her off the edge means I have blown her out. Okay, so now he says that if only I blow a little more fierce and grim, that means a little more harder, then the moon will become more smaller in size. The wind blew hard and the moon grew dim. With my sledge and my wedge, I have knocked off her edge. If only I blew right, fierce and grim, the creature will soon be dimmer than dim. The creature here means the moon. He blew and she thinned to a thread. One puff more's enough to blow her to snuff. One good puff more where the last was breath, and glimmer, glimmer, glum will go the thread. Now this time the wind really blew, he blew again and again, and the moon became thinner. You must be knowing the crescent moon, right? So the wind thinks that he has blown hard and the moon's size has become even more thinner. So what he thinks that if he really blows again, a real hard blow, the single thread of that moon, the thin thread will soon crumble into powder. To blow her to snuff means one puff more is enough to blow her to snuff means one more time if I really blow hard, the moon will crumble into a powder. To blow her to snuff means to blow her into powder. Okay. One good puff more where the last was bread, and glimmer, glimmer, glum will go the thread. That means the moon will become smaller and smaller and finally crumble into powder. So students, that's all for today. Then this part A. The remaining part we shall continue in the next video, that is the wind and the moon part B. Let's take the meanings for now. Hate means does not like. Heap is pile. Heap of clouds means pile of clouds. Slumbered means slept. Wedge is a triangle metal used to break something. Grim means serious. Now there are few phrases. The meanings of these phrases are, I have done for the moon. This is said by the wind. What he means to say is, I have made sure the moon has gone away. Knocked off her edge means defeated her totally. Thrown her out of the border of the sky. That means knocked her totally. To blow her to snuff means to blow her into powder. So quickly let's read that poem again. Said the wind to the moon, I will blow you out. You stare in the air like a ghost in a chair. Always looking what I'm about. I hate to be watched. I'll blow you out. The wind blew hard and out went the moon. So deep on a heap of clouds to sleep. Down lay the wind and slumbered soon, muttering low, I have done for that moon. He turned in his bed, she was there again, on high in the sky, with the one ghost eye. The moon shone white and alive and plain. Said the wind, I'll blow you out again. The wind blew hard, and the moon grew dim. With my sledge and my wedge, I have knocked off her edge. If only I blow right, fierce and grim, the creature will be soon dimmer than dim. He blew, and she thinned to a thread. One puff's more's enough to blow her to snuff. One good puff more where the last was bred, and glimmer, glimmer, glum will go the thread. Written by George Macdonald. So I would like to ask few questions based on today's video. Children, this poem is written by George Macdonald. Who are the two main characters of this poem? Yes, the moon and the wind. Which of the two shows an angry behavior, arrogant behavior? And the answer is the wind. Is the moon aware of the wind's angry behavior? No, the moon is not aware. What is the wind trying to do? The wind is trying hard to blow the moon out of the sky. And why is it trying to do? Why is it trying to blow the moon out of the sky? Because the wind thinks that the moon is watching him. And he does not like to be watched. So he is angry with the moon and he wants to throw him out of the sky. He thinks he's stronger and he has the power to blow the moon out of the sky. So children, that's all for now. What is the meaning of slumbered? Slumbered means slept. Heap is pile. What does this mean, to blow her to snuff? It means to blow her into powder. So students, that's all for today. We have covered the first half of this poem in part A. The remaining other half we shall cover in the next video, that is the wind and the moon, part B. For now, just go through the content that has been covered. Understand every line of this poem and learn the meanings. Go through this video once again. So children, thank you for watching. Take care and all the best. God bless you all.